Hi everyone, this is Chris from ACE Consulting Group, and I'm going to be going over in this video some basic math functions within Excel. So for those of you who are somewhat unfamiliar with Excel, Excel is a very powerful program which will allow us to do a lot of calculations within it. And what I think is that once you're at a sufficient level within Excel, you really shouldn't ever really need a calculator for doing any calculations once you have the program open. You should be able to do everything within Excel. And trust me when I say it will make everything easier in the long run. So, without further ado, let's get started. Within Excel, you can use the basic math functions such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division just by putting it in within a cell. So for example, let's say we want to add 2 plus 2. You'd have to start a function off with the equal sign. Then addition is simply 2 plus sign 2, and then you press enter and you'll get your answer. Same thing with subtraction. Equal sign to start off the function. 2 minus 2 gives you your answer right there. A bit of a difference is if you want to do multiplication or division, what you want to do is you want to use the star symbol. And for division sign, you want to use the slash symbol. So in this example, I've used whole numbers, but you can also get decimal answers. So you can do, for example, 5 divided by 2, and you'll still get your decimal answer. But this is just very simple. What if you had, for example, a large amount of numbers? If you wanted to, you can do like 4 plus 2 minus 3 minus 6, yada yada yada. And you can do all that, but once you get into things like having a large database with a large amount of numbers, that's going to be very challenging to do. So what I'm going to show you how to do is use these Excel functions to make everything just a little bit easier. And for this example, I'm going to be using this column of numbers right here to show you how to add them and do different things with them all in one go. So, as you can see here in this top area right here, I have the sum function labeled out. And what the sum function does is it adds up all the numbers that have been selected. So like I showed with these 4 simple calculations, you always want to start a function with the equal sign. And once you do, you can start inputting which function you want to do. So for the sum, you want to do SUM for sum. And as you can see here, as you type, it's going to give you some suggestions on what you actually want. Once you see what you want, you can double click it, or you can just do a open bracket, and that will start the function. And what you want to do is, as shown in my productivity shortcuts video, is you can choose the cell that you want, and then you do Control, Shift, and the arrow key in the direction you want, and it's going to highlight all the relevant cells that you've selected. You do a closed bracket to end the function, and press enter, and there you go. The function has been done, and it has added up all these numbers and given you the sum. If you have numbers that are scattered out through various places, let's say, you can also do it another way by clicking the number that you want to select and separating each of your selections with a comma. And what it's going to do is it's going to take those numbers and it's going to use them just like as if we highlighted them, and press enter once again, and that's the sum of all the numbers that were chosen. So let's move on to the next function then. We have the product sum function, which instead of adding all the numbers will give you the product. So it's going to multiply all the numbers you have, and as you can see here, how I've already done it, I type equals product, and then you highlight all the numbers that you want, just like you did for addition, and that's going to give you your answer. For power, you're going to do something different. So for power, square root, quotient, and remainder, those aren't for a list of numbers. What you want to do for those is you want to choose a certain amount of numbers, let's say. So for power, what we're going to do is we're going to use the power function. So as you can hear, it's equal power, and then you want to do the first number, which is the base number, so let's say 2, and then we want to put it to the power of 3. So we got 2 to the power of 3, and there you go. You got your power. For square root, you just need a simple one number. And what number you want to do, let's say 16, close bracket, you get the square root. Quotient is going to give you the quotient, which is the number, for example, we get quotient, we'll do 50 divided by 4. So right here, we should get a decimal number, like as if we did normal division, but quotient, oh, I've added too few numbers. Oh, I made a mistake there, 1 second. Okay, so two numbers divided by a comma. And what we did here is we should be getting a decimal number. If you did any calculator, you should be getting 12.4. But when I press enter, quotient only gives us 12. So that's only going to give us what 4 divides into 50 by, 12. And it's not going to give us the decimal answer or the remainder. It's just going to give us that number. If you want the remainder only, you can use a remainder. And what remainder uses is a bit different. It uses MOD. So you want to do equal sign MOD, open bracket, and let's use the same example, 50 divided by, oops, there you want to use a comma, 50 divided by 4, and that's going to give you your remainder of 2. So that's, you can use these two functions if you only want the either quotient or the remainder. Rounding, for example, if you're in a business that has prices with using pennies, so for example, you have the $200.02. Because we don't use pennies anymore, you want to round it to either $200. So what you need is you enter in the number you want. So let's do a new entry. You want to do, so as you can see right here, once again, M round. So you want to do M R O UND, open bracket. Let's do the 200.02 cents. And we want it to every 5 cents. So we want 0.05. And what you're doing in the second number is adding the multiple. So the multiple of what you want to round it to, basically. So in this case, 5 cents is going to round down to $200. If we had something, let's say that was round $200.03, then at every 0.05 cents, that's going to round up to the $200.05. So the multiple isn't limited to every 0.05 cents, for example. You can change it to however you wanted. Let's say we have $53. We want every multiple of 100. It's going to round up to 100. So those are the simple math functions that you use in Excel. Hopefully this was of some use to you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.